the home of Jaguars fans.
The Jags, I've been a fan since day one.
Haven't felt this good in a long time, guys.
Do ball till we die.
Go Jags.
1010XL. Now, the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter on 1010XL. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Campo.
Parker fields it all the way back at his 4-yard line to the 10-yard line, right up the middle of the field, 20, 25, 30, into the open field. Parker Washington along left sideline, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Parker Washington just brought it all the way back, and the Jags have extended the lead. How good is that?
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars Radio, and with that, a very good Sunday afternoon to you, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings with the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy and the head coach Dave Campo. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. The Jacksonville Jaguars get their second win of the year, a 32-16 victory over the New England Patriots, a game where they were down 10-0, and you thought, oh my gosh, here we go again. But the Jaguars outscored the Patriots 32-6 after that and come away with their second win of the year. Again, now 2-5 on the season. Leon Searcy, there's a lot to get into with this game. But first and foremost, it's just good to be talking about a win. Certainly better than the alternative. The competition wasn't great, but it's hard to win in the NFL, and I think every Jaguar fan should take this one today.
Oh, absolutely. And I have to apologize to the Jaguars this week because I called them a bunch of front runners. I called them a team that when they get down, as adversity strikes, that they don't find a way to win. This team did. Absolutely. I believe there had to be some conversation on that sidelines like, listen, we're not going through this again. We're going to find a way to come back and win this football game, and they did. So, I mean, this is very impressive the way they came about winning the football game. Being tough, being physical, running the ball. Listen, they ran inside zone I don't know how many times. They say, you know what, we're going to run it until you stop it. And I loved every bit of it. And I love that Joe Thomas, who was up there commentating, he was talking about the magnificence of offensive line play and the blocks and coming off on the linebackers. It was a joy to see. That game right there, the way the Jaguars play, offense, defense, and special teams, was probably the best game I've seen them play since they beat the Texans last year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's spot on. I would agree with that. It was their best performance of the year so far. And Coach Campo, look, I mean, it was 10-0, and there was a very easy opportunity for this team to go, woe is me, all the turmoil in the locker room with the quit word that was thrown out from last week. I mean, there was a lot of stuff, yet the team overcame a little bit of adversity and got a big win today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I have to apologize as well because I really felt that New England had a chance to win the game prior to the game. And the way they started out, I said, oh, my goodness, I was not real happy. But I'm happy that they were able to overcome a slow start. Offense goes 3 and out. They take the ball down and score right away. I was concerned, but I'm happy. A win is a win. If I wanted to be negative, I could say it's a little bit like the Carolina game last year. But a win is a win, and you can't get to 3 without 2. So as far as I'm concerned, they at least have a decent ride home, and they can look at some good things rather than just getting their butt kicked in the meetings.
Yeah, look, you got to have a win at some point. You needed a win to feel good about things. They got that accomplished today. Clearly, there's a lot to get into. Phone lines open. 641-1010 is the phone number, 641-1010 if you want to get involved here on the 5th quarter with us on 1010XL. And Leon, the 2 offensive stars of the game, Brian Thomas and Tank Bigsby. Let's go to the big uglies, the offensive line. Tank Bigsby and that offensive line established themselves, as you mentioned, just running right at New England. 17-play and 11-minute drive. It's unfortunate they didn't score there. I cannot believe they didn't kick a field goal, but that's another issue. But for a majority of that drive, New England you took their will from them. And even though they didn't come away with points, you take 11 minutes off the clock, and that kind of, I think, ended any chance the Patriots really had.
Well, you know what? People try to make football hard, and it really isn't. It's a war of wills. It's an individual battle between you and the guy across from you. And if you make up in your mind that I'm going to win this play, you got to move an immovable object, one-on-one. And what I saw today from that offensive line, from the tackle to tackle, the interior guys, whatever, they got after him pretty good. They got up there physical. They worked on double teams. They stayed on double teams. They came off on linebackers, and they finished them. And that's the reason why Tank Bigsby, the reason why I love him, because there's not a lot of tap dancing in his game. He one hit a quitter. He hit, cut, gone.
Mm-hmm.
One hit, gone.
Doesn't do a lot of dancing.
Doesn't do a lot of dancing.
Pretty north-south.
I love it, absolutely. That's what I love about him, is the fact he's the north and south runner.
How would you assess Walker Little, who came in and played a lot for Cam Robinson?
Played absolutely well. Did well on double teams, traps, quarterback traps, getting to the second level, being physical with his hands. He was never out of position on his pass protection. Everything was profound. Everything was beautiful. It was like sight to see. And what pisses me off about this, Hack, is that we wait till week 7 to see this offensive line play the way they played today, and they could have been playing like this at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't be in this predicament where we're in right now. Absolutely would not. If this offensive line stood on, if it took a stand early on in the season that they decided they were going to start playing like this, the way they played today, we would not be sitting here right now at 2-5.
Coach, you're a defensive guy, and you have had to scheme against some of the best wide receivers the NFL has ever known. Not to jump too far ahead, but for the Jaguar standards, they might have the best receiver they've had clearly since Allen Robinson and maybe since Jimmy Smith. I mean, Brian Thomas in 7 games has already over 500 yards receiving. That 58-yarder was just a beautiful throw and catch. He found the end zone again, getting his feet in with a 2-point conversion in the back of the end zone. What a force Brian Thomas looks like he's going to be for years to come.
Yeah, he's a definite threat, anytime during the ball game. And I think that's what you really need from a guy that could be your number one receiver. And he's catching the ball inside, which is, that's what separates some guys like Ridley. I certainly hope he doesn't show us that he can catch it inside when we play against him. But this guy can go deep. He can come inside. He can catch the crosser route. He can run after catch. He can catch the quick screens because once he catches the ball, he's upfield right now. There's no hesitation with it. And with the acceleration he has, got a pretty good chance of breaking some tackles and making some things happen. So I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to be everything that they thought he was going to be, and he's just getting started now. I think he's leading the rookies, including Neighbors, although Neighbors has been hurt.
Yeah,
I think. But
he has more receiving yardage than any rookie in the league.
So I'm excited about that. And let me say one other thing about Tank Bigsby. One of the reasons we were successful today, I don't think New England's defensive line was very good. But let me say this. The scheme runs that we run with pulling the lineman inside and all that stuff, Tank has better eyes than ETN.
Mm-hmm.
He finds the crease and the hole. And I think we've tried those things with ETN, and ETN is just running straight ahead. He has the ability to cut off a guys and find the seam, and I think that just helps our offensive line.
Also, Coach, he's more patient.
Yeah,
he's more patient.
Right.
Yes,
right.
He's more patient.
Exactly.
He lets the full play develop. He lets the offensive line get to their position, and then he hits. And
he's got the acceleration to go with it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a real plus because, to be honest with you, just like on that 4th down play, if we have to just come off the ball and knock somebody back when somebody overloads us, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to scheme, and this guy's a better scheme runner, which I think bodes well going forward.
And by no means, Leon, has this offensive line ever been construed for a tough physical unit among the top in the league, but they were certainly that today. Mm-hmm. Take us into that mindset when you're just running the ball down somebody's throat and they can't stop you. I mean, you're getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop every single time. That's got to be absolute football bliss for an offensive lineman.
Well, you know what, Hackett? It's like Steph Curry in that zone. It's like being in that zone where he's buckets. That's how.
Keep feeding me.
Keep feeding me. Listen. You ask any offensive lineman who's played the game long enough to ask him, what do you would prefer to do, pass, protect, or run block? 99.9% of them say we want to get after you. Mm-hmm. And if we're getting after you good, and we're running the ball, and we're physically beating you up, we let you know. We trash talk a little bit, We get a little grimy. Get your hands dirty. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get your hands dirty. It's a dirty sport. It's all right to get dirty.
We just haven't seen that from the Jaguar O-line in a long time. We saw it today. Let's both of you guys start with Coach. How would you assess the play of quarterback Trevor Lawrence?
I think Trevor's played okay the last 3 ball games. I think the thing that excited me the most about him today was the long pass to number 7.
Brian Thomas.
Because
beautiful
he
throw,
laid
beautiful
it
catch.
up there. He didn't try to gun it like he has in the past, and that's when he gets the overthrow.
Mm-hmm.
He laid it up there and let the kid run underneath it and make a play. That's the kind of thing I like to see. And I'll tell you, I heard on the post game shows they were talking about, all of a sudden Trevor didn't spin out and all that stuff. Well, the only reason he spins out is when he get a bull rush right at him.
Right.
He was able to step up and then scramble out of there. So he's got that ability right there. It's not that he wants to spin out. I thought Walker Little played extremely well when he came into the game. There was no pressure on him up into him, except the one time where they pressured inside and he made a great throw to number 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, this might be another Indianapolis situation. I'm not sure, Leon, if they touched Trevor Lawrence in the backfield. I mean, the offensive line kept him pretty clean. How did you think Trevor played?
I think he played well. I mean, he completed over 70% of his passes, so that's pretty good. I don't think he's pressing. Like you said, Coach, that throw that it was almost like a rainbow, that throw to him where Brian Thomas made the catch. I mean, he caught it right at the nose of it, whatever. So, like you said, in the past, Trevor would have tried to zip that in like that. Sometimes, you ain't got to always use your strength. Sometimes the velocity works just as well. And it was good to see him make that throw and see Brian Thomas make that catch.
This will be a lot of positive, and it should be, because the fan base needs some positivity. Just a couple negative things just to mention. I'm going to get some thoughts from you guys. Number 1, Mason Smith, your second-round pick, healthy and active, it appears, for the second time in 7 games. I was shocked by that, considering you just traded Roy Robertson-Harris to Seattle. So you would think there would be some, time, reps, whatever you want to call it, for the second rounder out there. Does that tell us anything, Coach?
I tell you what, I really can't figure that whole thing out, what's happening up front, including the end situation. Look, somehow they've got a grading system in practice or something. If a guy doesn't do, I'm of the mindset, practice. You got to practice, but at the same time, you got to have your best players, the guys that have a chance to make some plays on the field on Sunday. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, and obviously there's some question about some of the rotation and all that stuff. 91. He had a nice inside move today.
The TV
but
commentators,
on the outside, forget about it.
The TV commentators actually said his name today, which is an improvement.
Well, he went by that backup guard when he came in after the guy was hurt. But at one time he beat the guy and then fell down. I don't know. To me, he had Jefferson up, which he hadn't been up very much. He had the new guy in that
Graziano making it happen.
Leon, you can talk about that one.
Yeah, listen, it's early on in the game, and listen, this is not the preseason. I'm looking at the defensive front, and I see Ledbetter, Jefferson, and Galliano. I'm like, what the hell is going on around here? It just threw me off. I had to text Joe Coward and Matt Hayes about that. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
They also had Jake bring the funk as the third running back this week.
This is not the preseason.
Yeah.
But I got to say something about Mason being a healthy scratch. When you're in a situation this late in the season and you're a healthy scratch, the team don't trust you. Or you're not giving enough effort. So that's on him. If he's a healthy scratch this late in the season with your record and what it was, because they need bodies. They need bodies interiorly. For him to be a healthy scratch this late in the game, it tells me 2 things. He's not getting it done in practice, or they don't trust him, or both.
Which is not good for your second-round pick. And quickly, phone lines are loading up. We'll get to you, 641-1010. 17 plays, over 11 minutes. They go for it on 4th down. They don't get it. Again, you accept Doug Peterson, I guess, for who he is. And he's going to go for it on 4th down. And he just simply doesn't care. Because you're up 15. The game is literally over. If you kick a 25-yard field goal to go up 18, that would be 3 possessions. He doesn't get it. No more than a minute and a half later, Drake May turns into Joe Montana and goes right down the field and scores, and all of a sudden it's a 9-point game, and you're thinking, holy crap, here we go again. Now, thankfully, for whatever reason, Mayo went for 2, which I thought was a terrible decision.
Terrible decision.
Absolutely.
But we'll take it. But it's like, Leon, why did Doug Peterson not take the points to get something out of that 17-play drive?
I have no idea, bro. I mean, you can call them the riverboat gambler or whatever, but those analytics suck right now, in my opinion. I'm old school. Kick the field goal is one possession. I mean, I'm saying you kick the field goal, there's two possessions. And now you give them back the momentum. What happens? They go down, they drive, and they score a touchdown. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's not old school. That's Ivy League.
No, I'm saying I'm old school.
No, I know.
We kick the field goal.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's just common sense.
Yes.
Go up 3 scores. I mean, listen, these teams in the NFL, I don't care who it is. We say this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know that guy over there, whoever that wide receiver is? He's one of the top 1% of wide receivers in the world, right? So something can happen where a guy catches a ball for 35 yards and 36 yards or whatever it was the next 2 throws, the next series.
Oh, yeah.
You could get back in a ball game pretty quick around with these athletes.
And did you see the 4th and 1? Did you see how Mitch Morse got destroyed interiorly?
Yeah, Joe Thomas was critical of him and Ezra Cleveland both.
Yeah, he got hip tossed.
And look, I heard Joe Thomas on the broadcast saying, this is in regards to the 2-point conversion that Gerard Mayo went for. They're down 9. Oh, you need to know what you need. You need to know if you're chasing points or not with 8 minutes to go.
That's what Boselli said too, and that's wrong.
Boselli said, I didn't hear Tony say that, but that's crazy to me because I got news for you. If you kick the extra point and you're down 8, well, guess what? You need 8. You need a touchdown and a 2. What are you talking about?
Well, if you don't make it, you can't get there with 8.
And mentally, I heard Mike use the word deflating, and that's exactly what I was thinking when they did it.
Yeah.
Mentally, that's got to be so frustrating if you're New England to know you're down 2 possessions. If you kick the extra point, you're down 8. Mentally, you're like, all right, a touchdown and a 2, and this game is tied. Now, if he got it, it's a different conversation, but they didn't get it. I just thought, and look, that's for Boston people to figure out on their post-game show. I'm happy the Patriots did it and didn't go.
The only reason they did it was not because you know what you're getting or whatever. The reason he did it was he felt that we can't get a tie. If we get a tie, we're going to lose the game in OT or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you get the 2, then you can win it with the next score. If you kick it, the field goal, then if you go for you kick the extra point, then the best you can do on the next drive is a tie.
Well, the Jaguars.
That's the only reason he did it. And whether you're right or wrong, that's kind of like being at the end of the game and you're on the road and you score and you either kick the point to tie or you go for 2 you either win or lose on that play. Well, that was his thinking, whether it's right or wrong, but it's ridiculous thinking in the NFL.
I'm happy it was his thinking. We'll certainly take it.
Took a lot of pressure off of the team, I can tell you that.
Jacksonville 32, New England 16. Jacksonville now 2-5 on the year. Phone line's open, 641-1010. Let's squeeze a couple in here on the opening segment with the head coach Dave Campo and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Let's go to the south side, get John in here on 1010XL. John, what do you got?
Yeah, we squeaked one out, guys. I know it was we had good points in this game, but man, we squeaked one out. I just wanted to say hi to Josh, Ryan, and Matt and Reagan on the way back from London. Coach, real quick question: is it possible Press Taylor, the offensive coordinator, is he the one that makes those calls if he's calling plays to decide if they go for it, or does that come from the head coach or not? And I'll take that off the air.
Yeah, no, the head coach makes all those kind of decisions, whether or not to go for it, whether to go for 2, whether to, they've discussed that prior to the ball game, but here's the play that we think we need to do at this particular time or whatever. And, that play calling is always going to be a discussion here because I don't think Doug really handled it as best as he could. I think he should have just said from the beginning, his answer to who was calling the plays and all that stuff was, well, I'll consider it, but we're seeing what he should have just said. Hey, he's calling the plays. He and I are the same guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm calling the plays, which I think he should have done. But it's really the head coach's decision on all those, whether or not to go for 2 or whatever the situation is.
That whole thing is crazy to me, Press Taylor, Doug Peterson. At the end of the day, if you're going to criticize them for any play calling, if you're going to criticize Press Taylor, well, you criticize Doug Peterson.
Yes.
Because Doug Peterson, the buck stops with him.
Right.
He gets the final word on everything. He hears everything going on in the headset. It is Doug Peterson's barbecue.
Right.
And Press Taylor is just being invited to it.
Yep.
So if you're going to criticize anything, the buck stops with Doug Peterson. He's kind of let it get to this point.
The one thing I thought in this ball game, they were a little bit more creative. They tried to run the reverse a couple times during the ball game. Didn't work out. But I like that because at least, if you're running the football, you got this going, you catch somebody by surprise. Those are the kind of things that I think you see all these young coordinators around the league doing. And that to me was a good thing about today. Even though it didn't, they got 1 yard and 2 yards or whatever with number 7. I like to get the ball in number 7's hand as much as possible.
There's no doubt about that. By the way, I think my chair is diseased. I keep shrinking over here. I don't know what is going on with this.
That used to be the case until you went a week.
Yeah, I thought after I lost 100 pounds, it was going to not be this way anymore. What is going on? I got to switch chairs here in a moment. Let's go to Buffalo. Let's get Junior in here on the 5th quarter. Junior, what do you got?
Hey, gentlemen, I'll take the win. I like wins. I'm not going to get too crazy, but I'll take the win. Anything can happen, the season. If they play with more fire like they did in that second half. Hey, the New York Mets got to a few games away going to the World Series, and they had a bad season, started their season. So anything can happen as long as you want to go out there and fight. That play where they went for it for the field goal, I kind of understand what they wanted to go for because they were just going down the field, pushing that front 7 of New England down the field. But the play call, they should have went for a quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneak, you get the first down, and then you let Tank punch it in. That's my way. I'm not a coach, but I thought that way. I thought they were going to do a quarterback sneak, and then they didn't do it. But like I said, I'm going to enjoy the game, enjoy the win. Just get this momentum a little bit more, and let's see what they can do next week. Later, guys.
Junior, really appreciate it. And Leon, look, you got to feel good, right? It's got to start somewhere. Like Coach said, you can't get to 3 unless you get to 2. And even though they did probably play the worst team in football, and you can easily forget this game when you land in Jacksonville because goodness knows you're going to have your hands full next week with Green Bay. At least the plane ride back, the vibes right now are considerably different than the vibes they had in that locker room 7 days ago.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I'm no golfer, but I'm going to use this connotation as far as golf goes. I don't care how bad you play in golf. All you need to do is hit the ball one good time. It makes you want to come back.
Right.
And this team right now, that's how they got to approach it. This is a win. Listen, how bad the Patriots are is not your fault.
Right.
They suck. That's not our problem. You're on our schedule. Our job is to beat you, and that's what we did. Now the pain is coming. Now here's the thing: a lot of pundits, even people here in Jacksonville, think these next 5 games you won't be favored. Okay, so either you can listen to the noise, or get your butt back into work on Monday and prepare your hardest and go out there and execute. Because there are no guarantees in the NFL. Team by team can beat other teams. I've seen good teams. I've seen great teams get beat. Okay? So if you want to believe what everybody's going to say about you, hey, the next 5 weeks, you're not going to win a game, you're not going to be favored, all this kind of stuff. If you believe it, then you know what? Whether you can or you can't, you're right. So this team, that's what this team has got to think. Everybody's got you picked to lose these next 5 games. Buckle up and see what happens.
By the way, Green Bay in a battle right now with Houston. Good game at Lambeau Field at halftime. The Texans up 19-14 over the Green Bay Packers. We will keep you updated. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida. 5th quarter, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Let's see, Pierre, Hunter, Leo, Rick, all you guys, hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. We'll take you up close to 4:30 this afternoon. So if you're on the line, we will certainly get to you. Of course, all the phone calls here on the 5th quarter are with the Garber Auto Mall phone line. The Jaguars 32, the Patriots 16, Jacksonville 2-5 on the year. They split the London series at a game apiece, one in the win column, one in the loss column. More to do. 5th quarter rolls on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores.
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's them?
Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Dig into fan-favorite dishes and new shareables, including carne asada loaded fries, hot honey wings, and boom boom sliders. Try new cocktails like the spicy Guavarita and the Red Bullarita, or enjoy bucket specials featuring Miller Lite, Modelo Especial, and High Noon during all pro and college football games. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. HurricaneWings.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxpayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today, and let's score big for education at TaxpayerGatorBowl.com.
Bold City AC, heating that rules.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC, we got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Second and goal from a 1-foot line. They hand it to Tank toward the goal line. Touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run by Tank Bigsby, and the Jags have taken the lead.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio, 1 of 2 Tank Bigsby touchdowns in the 32-16 Jacksonville win today over the New England Patriots. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. RJ Saunders, let's do it now. The Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the offensive player of the game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Leon, this was tough because you could give it to either Tank or Brian Thomas. We'll do an honorable mention to Brian Thomas, 5 for 89 and a score. But Tank Bigsby, 26 carries for $118 and 2 touchdowns. The second time he's broke the 100-yard barrier in the last 3 weeks. Terrific play continues for the second-year running back out of Auburn, and he is this week's offensive player of the game.
Just think about his metamorphosis from where he was last year to where he is right now. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Last year he couldn't catch a cold. He wouldn't run between the tackles. He was fumbling everywhere, and now the work. See that's the work in the offseason. That's the work in training camp, getting yourself mind right and everything. So that's great to see that this kid turned his career around.
And one thing about him, Coach. Now I like it now. It's a good story when they're winning, and he got up every time that they got onto the ground. He doesn't really avoid contact. He's going to try to run people over, man. And look, I like it, particularly when it's like safeties and corners. I don't really want him doing that with middle linebackers, but he seeks contact. I mean, they call him Tank, and appears to be a reason for that. He loves the physicality, it appears.
Yeah, I think he's a very physical back, and I think the one thing he does do, though, is he does jump cut at the line of scrimmage, which is his eyes, and obviously athletic ability. But, I think he does like contact. And to be honest with you, you got a Dearness Johnson in there with him now that can accelerate as well. He's not a contact guy. He's trying to get into the open area as fast as possible. But, I like that group. I hope ETN comes back. I think ETN serves a purpose, catching ball out of backfield and doing some things like that. But I'm a Bigsby fan. I think he's a solid inside runner and has really good eyes.
And you've been a Bigsby fan for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
I can vouch for that.
And I can exactly see what happened last year. I mean, as a coaching staff, especially when things started to slide, you're not going to put him in there when he's putting the ball on the ground. But he's kind of, cleaned that up.
To the phone lines we go, 641-1010. Let's go out to the state of California. Let's get Pierre in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Pierre, go ahead.
How we doing, man? It's great to have a win, fella.
It is great to have a win. Certainly beats the alternative.
Oh, no, for sure. Well, my 2 words I'm going to ask Big Sirs and Coach is that energy and do we have any dogs? I know we got Tank on the offensive side, and we could say Thomas, he's playing well. But we need more dogs on that defensive side. So my 2 questions are energy and dogs. Do this team have enough dogs and energy to make a run? Because they have to make a run. This is the hole that they dug themselves in. So they got to get it out.
Pierre, appreciate it. You talk about guys on the defense. I mean, Ventrell Miller appears to be a dog. I don't know what your definition of dog is, but Ventrell Miller's a guy that's all over the field doing a lot of great things. I would take 11 Ventrell Millers over there. They obviously don't have that, but they need more Ventrell Millers, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, they need. I think the caller's asking, do they have any alpha males on their team? Alpha male. And you can't say that they have too many because you got contributed to their record. I mean, they're 2-5. I mean, you're 2-5 for a reason. So. To say that we got a lot of alpha males, well, if they aren't playing like it. So, I mean, let's just enjoy this win because, I mean, there's a lot of dogs in KC. There's a lot of dogs in San Fran. The elite teams, they've got the roster on both sides of the ball to where they can bring the pain. This team just beat a very bad Patriots team. Now, if these next 5 games, if we win them, then they can transition to being alpha males. But right now, they're just try hard guys in my opinion. If
we win the next 5, maybe I'll go to NASA and become an astronaut too. If we win the next 5, I think that's about as likely. Now, I mean, look, I think realistically, 3-2 is what you're hoping for, and that might even be pressing it. But if you get to 3-2, that would put you at 5-7 with 5 games to go. and then you might have a shot doing something getting into the month of December. I don't think you need to worry about making a run. That you're 2-5. You're not making a run. You need to go 3-2 over these next 5-game gauntlets. Get to 5-7, and at that point, every game becomes a playoff game from then on out.
I agree with you. We go 3-2 in these next 5 games, right? You got to remember, we still got the Texans. We still got the Titans twice.
The Raiders.
We got the Raiders. The Colts, and the Texans, right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, I agree. I look at this. Look, if we're fighting for a shot at a playoff, then you'd have to say that's the only thing that's you could look at and say we're being successful, because we're not going to win every ball game from here on out. No matter what.
You're probably not going to win next Sunday.
Well, you don't know, but I think you're absolutely right though on the 3-2. Get to the point where every game. That's what happened 2 years ago.
Yeah,
every game was a playoff game.
Yeah.
And now, if you do what you're supposed to do, you got a chance.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you this. I mean, you're 2-5 right now. As a coaching staff, you got to create that scenario. And you got to get the guys thinking like that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, listen, we got these 5 games against 5 playoff teams.
Yep.
We got to find a way to finish 3-2.
Yep.
All right? So, I mean, if you don't create that scenario, then you don't give the guys, you don't inspire them to have nothing to fight for.
They don't understand that they can still be in this.
Exactly.
Right. I agree with you. I think that's got to be a part of the theme.
That's got to be in your mindset.
Yep.
As unbelievably, as impossible we may think that they can pull this off, that coaching staff has to make this team think that they still got a shot.
Oh, and 3-2, 3 of them are at home.
Yeah.
Houston's at home, Green Bay's at home, Minnesota's at home. Right. Again, is it plausible? I don't know, but that's the hope, right? The hope is 3-2. Because I hear people on social media, and I heard the post-game show with Mike and people calling in tonight, you're excited about a win. We're all excited about a win. Sure beats the hell out of talking about a loss.
Right.
Which is what we've had to do 5 of the first 6 weeks we've done the 5th quarter. So I'm happy we're talking about a W. They probably beat the worst team in the NFL. The Patriots are probably going to be picking number 1 or certainly in the top 3 of the draft. That's the reality. They beat an awful football team today that admitted to the NFL Network crew that they're in the middle of a rebuild, which I can't believe they admitted that, but they did. They said this is a rebuild. That's the team you beat today. You're not having a rebuild team with Green Bay coming in here on Sunday and then going to Philadelphia. So enjoy it for what it is. But again, 3-2 in the next 5 is your goal, your realistic goal. Let's go to Julington Creek. Let's get Hunter in here on the 5th quarter. Hunter, what do you got?
What's up, guys? Thank y'all for having me on. I'm excited we got the win. I want to start off by saying Brian Thomas is, I think, generational in my opinion. I think he should be at least having 15 targets a game minimum. I think he's that kind of receiver. I want to start off with saying on the D-line, it's Josh Allen. I mean, I'm not trying to complain about him, but he's almost non-existent out there. And who are these guys that were rolling out of the D-line as well? I mean, are we just trying to outsmart people with all these rotations? I'm not trying to complain, but I'm glad we got the win. I'm ready to beat the Cheeseheads next week. So, thanks, Cal.
Hunter, appreciate the phone call. You're running out guys because they don't have anybody behind Hines, Allen, and Walker because Trent Baalke, 2 years in a row, decided to do nothing as far as bringing in veteran edge pass rushers. So that's why you're running out, my man. Is it Joe Graziano, 97? I was going to call him 97. Joe 97.
Graziano.
All right. And Miles Cole, you drafted. He's inactive. Mason Smith, you drafted. He's inactive. You got Yasir Abdullah. I mean, that's what you got out there behind Hines, Allen, and Walker right now.
Hey, Hacker, you might be in agreement with me in saying this. Can we put the bed generational?
Oh,
please?
gosh,
Can
yes.
we bury it? Can we bury it and put it away? Because we've already seen what it's done to one of our players.
Bury it, lock it up, and throw away the key.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Oh,
don't
my gosh.
Please, don't put that on Brian Thomas.
Now, having said that, Coach, Brian Thomas does look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. There's no question about it. He's going to be a good player. There's no doubt about it. And, you don't have to be generational. All you have to do is be like Jamar Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah.
I think
be those guys. That'll be good enough.
Yeah. I think he's capable of being that kind of a guy, and hopefully that's going to pay dividends down the road.
Let's go to my neck of the woods to Mandarin. Let's get Leo in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Leo, what's going on?
Hey, gentlemen, thanks for taking my call, guys. I've been calling in every week ripping the Jags because they've been horrible. So I'm not doing that today. Everything's positive. I hear what everybody's saying. I'm not overly excited. I don't know if it's too little, too late. But, hey, make no mistake about it, guys. I know this is not the same Patriot team, but just because Belichick and Brady left, that don't mean they took them 6 championships with them. That's still a championship team they beat, a championship organization. So they should be proud of that, okay? I don't care if they won in 5. Yeah, they're terrible, but that was a good job. I like Tank Bigsby. Talking about running people over, I don't know if y'all saw it. That man ran over a defensive lineman today and sat him down on his butt. I like that dude a lot. The little move Trevor's doing, I wish he'd do it all the time and been doing it all season. That little spin-out move, he did it last week. Hit Gabe Davis for a touchdown. That's his thing. That's his little move. I don't know why he don't just do that every time, because it looks like he don't run. He's mobile, and he throws real good when he's on that run. I wish he just implemented that in his game more. So I really like what they did. Like I said, I don't know if it's enough to keep them going, to keep Trayvon, again, getting another sack at an important time. Those are the big things. That's what you got to build upon. And I've just been frustrated because you feel like this team should have been doing this all year. They could have done this against Miami. They could have done this against Cleveland, right? Maybe you got blown out by Buffalo. Maybe Houston has your number right now. But, I just wish they'd been doing this, and it's been disappointing that they put themselves in the hole. So we'll see. Like you say, Coach, we don't know what's going to happen next week. They could beat Green Bay, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, they could win the next 10. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, that's what we'd expect them to lose, right? But it's a win, and I'm proud they did it. I'm glad they did it. And, like I said, him not going for 3, guess what? If they'd have lost, I'd complain about that. But guess what? They beat him by 16. You put 32 up on it. They put 32 up twice this year. So this team has the ability. And I don't know. Listen, one last thing. I want to give Walker Little his credit too, because I didn't like Walker Little ever since he stepped on his foot last year. But the man was highlighting him today. He's sitting there getting on the second level and making blocks. If that's the adjustment they had to make and sit Cam Robinson down, good for y'all, because it made a difference today. So
we appreciate the phone call. Leo was rolling there, so we just let him go for a little bit.
I love the passion.
Guys got to feel good. Yeah.
Love the passion.
Yeah, no question about it. A lot of passion in the city. The Jaguars 32-16 winners today over the New England Patriots. Updating you on some scores in the AFC South. Buffalo has come back to take the lead on the Tennessee Titans. Bills 14, Titans 10. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Josh Jacobs has just put Green Bay ahead of Houston. Packers 21, Texans 19, also midway through the third quarter. And the Miami Dolphins lead the Indianapolis Colts 10-3. The Colts do have a 2nd and goal at the Dolphins' 7-yard line. I'll tell you this. Actually, Indianapolis has literally just scored. Tyler Goodson, a touchdown run. The game is tied 10-10. We need to start having a conversation about Anthony Richardson. 5 of 15 for 64 yards today is Anthony Richardson. And they have Joe Flacco just sitting on that sideline, just holding a clipboard right now. Richardson, 5 of 15 for 64 yards. Yet, despite that, 10-10, Miami and Indianapolis. We will certainly keep you updated. We'll come back with a defensive player of the game or your phone calls as well on a victory Sunday afternoon in Northeast Florida. The Jaguars 32, the Patriots 16. The 5th quarter rolls on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL. Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The action. The motion. You see that acceleration. Feel the active emotion of live play-by-play. It's amazing how much energy. On 1010XL.
Hello there. Brendan from Play It Again Sports here to congratulate all the parents for surviving another summer. The kiddos are back to school, and you know what that means? Sports are back. But don't fret. Play It Again Sports has the gear you need at prices worthy of excessive celebration. From sluggers and shooters to clappers and benders, Play It Again Sports can turn your kids into goats. Stop in today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainjacks.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC, Plumbing, and Electric.
Jags Hall of Famer Tony Baselli puts on his gold jacket every Monday morning at 7:20 on The Drill.
Does look good.
It's Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli.
Good? It's great.
Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
Rake in the savings this fall with Universal Roof and Contract. Enjoy 15% off all roof repairs and replacements with financing options as low as $115 a month. Protecting your home has never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP. This offer expires October 31st. Protect your home and your wallet. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Trevor drops. Looking, fires toward the goal line of Bigsby. Caught for the touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. for the score.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars Radio, the 4th touchdown of the year for Brian Thomas. The Jaguars win it 32-16. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you a defensive player of the game. That defensive player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. And RJ, let's do it now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
All right, let me make a public service announcement when it comes to the defensive player of the game. We can't give it to Ventrell Miller every week, right? We got to spread the wealth a little bit because odds are we could have very easily given it to Ventrell Miller again today. But we're making the decision to spread the wealth a little bit. This guy led the team in tackles. He also had a quarterback sack. And that's Devon Lloyd. And I want to say something about Devon Lloyd. Was he great in coverage today? No. But Devon Lloyd got ripped this week, myself included and a lot of people, because there was one play in particular last week against Chicago where he was seen what looked like jogging instead of sprinting, where Cole Kmet scored the opening touchdown of the game. And to Devon Lloyd's credit, he probably got a lot of grief about that. Comes back a week later, a team-high 11 tackles, a quarterback sack, a tackle for loss. So we're going to give Devon Lloyd this week's defensive player of the game. Leon, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's how you answer the bell. I mean, quite frankly, we were right to be critical of him because it was a busted assignment. Everybody knows in that coverage, back middle. The linebacker is back middle. But, yeah, he came back and he responded well. And guess what I saw today? I saw a cross dog, Coach. Yeah. An actual cross dog that got home. Yep. That was nice to see, absolutely.
Yep. Now give us the elementary definition of a cross dog so people know.
A cross dog is when the Michael the Will, the Michael the Sam, and they cross each other to get in each other's gap.
Oh, that was the sack he had, right?
Yeah. That was his sack.
Yeah.
That's called a cross dog.
A cross dog. Yes. All right, you learned something new.
That was a heck of a lot better than the one that was a touchdown where they brought two guys on the one side and had the end having to try to go over to the other side to cover the back.
Well, let me ask you, defensive guy. Tyson Campbell was back in the lineup today. What does that mean for the Jaguar defense?
Well, I think it means something because he was on top of his game today. I mean, the one thing, the secondary is just struggling because they're either, slow getting where they need to get or whatever. he can cover. So he was on top of his deal, but he dropped an interception. You know, I mean, but it's his first game back. So I'm giving him a pass. He can cover. And that from what we've shown to this point, anybody we get out there that can cover, we're in good shape.
That is the head coach, Dave Campo. He's the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. This is the Window World of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, as always, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Back to the phone lines we go at 641-1010. Let's go to my neck of the woods, to Mandarin. Let's get Regina in here on 1010XL. Regina, go ahead.
Thanks for taking my call. Love your show, Ryan. Love the comments of Coach Campo and Leon Searcy. Comment. It scared me how slow it took the defense to get going. Question to Coach and Leon. What do they see that their defense is so slow? And we're not going to get away with that in the next game, especially coming back home. And I'll take your comments off the air.
Regina, thank you for the phone call. Coach, they allow opening drive touchdowns all the time. Why does the defense start so slow?
Well, the first drive today, we had a pass interference. We had a 27-yard pass. When you give up big play early, and they've gone to more of a bend but don't break philosophy, they haven't been able to cover as well as they need to. It's just, we just don't, we're not locking up on guys, and soft coverage, that's what leads to those kind of things. And as the game goes on, we get a little bit better feel for what the offense is doing, and then we're starting to be a little bit more aggressive. But we're a bend but don't break football team right now.
Now, Leon, to the offensive side of that, and it's happened time and time again, the defense goes out there, the opposing team comes through them like a hot knife through butter. You're down 7-0 before you even get on the field. Now, the offense overcame that today, and it was, in fact, 10-0, and the offense started doing their thing. But that kind of puts you guys behind the 8 ball a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, the reason why the defense is struggling so much is personnel. We don't have the horses in the middle. I mean, we got the guys on the end, but you got to have the personnel interiorly to push the pocket so the guys can come around and then, make it easier on the back end. You know that you're down in numbers as far as the back end goes. So now Tyson Campbell came back, right? He helped out a little bit. But if you can't get the pressure with us playing what we're playing with the 4-man rush, then, yeah, they're really going to struggle defensively. As far as the offense goes, when they see a defense give up, yeah, it's deflating, especially in the game, because when you're in the offense, you want to get out there on the field. And then when a team goes down the drive and they put you behind the 8 ball and score 7 points, you just got to say, okay, we got to go and answer the bell. But it is a little deflating for the offense when the defense goes up and just gives up a first quarter drive.
Here's another thing that hurts our defense a little bit. With our rush, we do get into position sometimes to make plays, but we don't finish.
No.
The quarterbacks just have a way of not getting sacked. We've had guys back there, and we're just missing. It looks like we're missing most of the time when we get a clean guy.
641-1010 is the phone number. A couple of open phone lines if you want to get on board here on the fifth quarter. Let's go to Melbourne. Let's get Steve in on 1010XL. Steve, what do you got?
Hey, not too much, guys. Great game all-around game by the offense and the defense and the special teams. Trevor had a great game. Him and BTJ, that's the future right there. Good for Trayvon to get pretty much a walk-off sack to seal the game. We had a great running game. Thank Bigsby. I mean, he's my RB1, to be honest. I know it's a big talking point, or it's going to be. Ventrell, you make us Gators fans proud. But Coach Campo, on with the defense with Devon Lloyd, I've said it since we drafted him. They've been kind of misusing him. Like for Utah, he was known to go get the ball. I mean, coverage was kind of an afterthought with him. I mean, he's a good downhill thumper, and he's good at stopping the run. But like those passing downs, he just looks like he's lost in coverage. I think we should just possibly maybe consider using him as a rotation in an edge. I mean, he put on the weight to bulk up a little bit. And my final thought is for Leon, I mean, Walker coming in was a great thing. Bigsby behind Walker in Cleveland seemed automatic, especially on that short yardage touchdown. They did a nice, good cross block, and Bigsby ran right behind Walker, who cleared a pass for him. And finally, Campo, it just seems to me the future might look like Campbell, Jarian Jones, and Buster Brown. And I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Jarian Jones looks like he's playing really well, is he?
Well, you don't know what he's doing. I can't see everything that's going on when I watch the game until I see the 22.
The all-22, right.
Where you see the entire field. So you don't know what – the one thing he is doing, though, is he made 2 key plays, 2 key knockdowns during the ball game. So he's doing some things right, which means the kid is a serious guy. My feeling is he's a baller. And so I think he's going to be really good for us going forward. And Buster Brown, he's done everything we ask of him. So, he's more of a man kind of a guy. And Campbell's kind of a man kind of guy. And Jorian can run at nickel. So if you can get that group together and get a feel for if we get some pass rush, I think those guys are good enough to be good players down the road.
On the one thing the defensive line did today, they got a little bit of pressure on Drake May, not a ton, but they did not let New England run the ball at all.
Yes.
May was their leading rusher, I think, with like 3 carries for 18 yards. They weren't a lot of flash plays from Devon Hamilton or Armstead or Jordan Jefferson or the big guys in the middle. Not a lot of highlight reel Sports Center type things. But the Patriots didn't run the ball at all, which you have to do to help your rookie quarterback, and New England was not able to do that.
Yeah, they did a good job, especially if you want to make a team like that, the Patriots, that's a struggling one-dimensional. You got to also remember, they talked about this on the air. The offensive line had 7 different lineups over 7 different weeks.
And a guy got hurt.
Right. So you if you don't have any kind of continuity on the offensive line, it's going to be sporadic. So, we were supposed to do what we did in this game because that team was very bad. The
other thing is the caller was it's not Jonathan, is it? Was just called
Steve.
Whoever it was. It appears to me that 33 is not the smartest tool sharpest tool in the toolbox. If trying to get him to do too many things could be a problem. Do I think he could be a guy on the edge and rush the passer? Probably better than what we have.
Could he be Arden Key?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a third guy. The problem is right now with the linebacker hurt, and now you got him out there. He's got to be out there at linebacker. Well, if you try to put him at linebacker, he's made enough busts out there that if now you put him on the end sometimes and there's more things to think about, all of a sudden that makes him not a good player.
What's interesting is Foye, I believe, can get off the IR. He can be cleared for return to practice this week. Hypothetically, he could play next week against Green Bay.
Well, that would help us. I think if you could use him a little bit more than that, if he doesn't have to do a lot of both. That's where the problem.
To me, Devon Lloyd is really good against the run, and he's a thumper.
Yep.
But if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm targeting him every time in the passing game.
And the number one thing they're playing, Hack, on defense zone-wise is 2 middle.
Mm-hmm.
And that puts him, the guy down the middle. And that's not his game. He's exactly what you said. He's a thumper. He's a run supporter. He's not really a cover guy.
He did lead the team in tackles today and did have that quarterback sack. Let's go to the state of Alabama. Get Jonathan in here on the 5th quarter. Jonathan, what do you got?
Duval!
There you go.
Indeed.
The only issue I had today was for them going for it on 4th down and not settling for points. When you're down there, I would take the points and not go for it. But other than that, I'm glad that we won the game, and I look forward to next week. And my dad's a Packer fan, so I call it the father-son game. So
well, there'll be some family bragging rights on the line there, and I can't begin to imagine how many Packer fans are going to be in Everbank Stadium on Sunday. That'll be a conversation for this week, but it'll be absolutely nauseating. But it's a good win. The Jaguars are 2-5. Updating you on some of the 1 o'clock games that are now getting into the witching hour, as our friend Scott Hansen on the Red Zone channel calls it. Seattle 24-14 over Atlanta. And into the third quarter, the Buffalo Bills have added a field goal. They lead the Titans 17-10, getting towards the end of the third quarter. Cincinnati 14-6 over Cleveland. Deshaun Watson was carted off in that game with what looked like a pretty significant leg injury. Speaking of that, how about Nick Chubb getting in the end zone? His first game back in a calendar year after what was a gruesome injury. Green Bay leads 21-19 over the Houston Texans, and the Dolphins and the Colts tied at 10 apiece, although Miami is driving. And also a shootout, Detroit and Minnesota, 28-17. Leon, Detroit leads the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. I was just watching on the screen the Eagles versus the Giants, and Saquon Barkley is putting in work against his old team.
You knew he would, right?
Yes,
you knew
absolutely.
The motivation was going to be
It's nothing
there.
like comeback, payback.
Let me pull up Saquon Barkley's numbers. Okay, Saquon Barkley, 17 carries for 176 yards and a touchdown. He's also caught 2 passes for 11 yards, so $187 of total yardage for Saquon Barkley. Jaguars will see him in 14 days.
Yeah.
Remember, the Jaguars head to Philadelphia for Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll tell you what, we're going to see a couple of other people here in the near future.
Well, Jordan Love's coming in next week. Saquon Barkley the week after. It should be a lot of fun. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Jacksonville, if you want to get in, talk about the Jaguars' 32-16 victory over the New England Patriots. There is room for you right now at 641-1010 as we roll on till 4:30 here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TerMinix.com. TerMinix.com. Terminix it.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Follow the Canes as they storm the ACC.
I'm 1010XL's JJ LaSalva, and every week I'll bring you the Miami news and notes you need to know.
The Performance Painting Hurricane Report on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatore's! Farah.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Parker fields it all the way back at his 4-yard line to the 10-yard line, right up the middle of the field, 20, 25, 30, into the open field. Parker Washington along left sideline, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Parker Washington just brought it all the way back, and the Jags have extended the lead. How good is that?
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars Radio. Parker Washington, the longest punt return in franchise history for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 97 yards for the score. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you a special teams player of the game. That special teams player of the game is brought to you by Crown Royal. And let's do it now. The Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
When you have a 97-yard punt return for a touchdown, it's kind of easy to figure out who the special teams player of the game is going to be. It's Parker Washington. Leon Searcy, what does a play like that do for a sideline?
Well, I tell you what, I can tell you what the coaching staff was doing initially. No. Yeah, yes, run.
Yeah, you know why it's the longest punt return in franchise history? Because you're not supposed to catch the ball at the 3-yard line.
Exactly. You're not supposed to field it inside the 10, absolutely. But, hey, it was a hell of a play. Listen, if you're going to catch that ball, you better make a play.
Yeah.
Because when you get on the sideline, you're going to get a chewing.
Coach, it was a great play by Parker Washington.
Yeah, and I just watched just kind of catching the TV here with the Green Bay guy, caught it on the 3-yard line, made it back to the 9.
Yeah.
So, and if you fumble it, it's over. But listen, the one thing I love about Parker Washington is he's got good eyes when he's in the open field, but he also has really good acceleration. And it was a guy right in the hole when he hit it up the middle, and he just made one move and just accelerated by the guy. So I like him. I think Duvernay was good, but I don't know that there's a lot of difference between the two guys, to be honest with you.
Phone lines open, 641-1010. If you want to get in, there is room for you here on the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. As always, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. All phone calls are courtesy of the Garber Auto Mall phone line. To Middleburg we go. Let's get Chris in here on 1010XL. Chris, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Doing well, Chris. Better. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just wanted to say Duval.
Indeed. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So I really want to mention Trayvon Walker. I mean, that play towards the end of the game when he got in the backfield and was able to put Drake May on his back, that was huge. I really see him developing, starting to come into his own. I'm not so sure about Josh Allen and where he's at, but I want to give a shout-out to Trayvon Walker. He's been making some crucial plays in the last couple of games towards the end of the game when the Jaguars really need to seal the deal. He's come up big multiple times, so I want to say good game to Trayvon Walker. And it's overall a good game for the Jaguars.
Chris, appreciate the phone call.
No, I was just thinking, he was talking about Trayvon Walker, and I just remember how critical we are at Trevor Lawrence ever since he's gotten that contract. But Josh Allen, ever since he's got that bag, bro, he ain't been the same player. He hasn't been as disruptive of a player. Trayvon Walker is definitely still in his thunder as far as getting after the passer and causing mayhem in the backfield. But Josh Allen, now he had sporadic moments. But, when you come from a last year's season where you had 17.5 sacks, I mean, I need to see a glimpse of that some way, sometime in some game.
I'm never going to be confused to be a great defensive mind, Coach Campo. You did it for decades in the NFL, but just a thought I had watching the game. Is there ever a scenario where a 280-pound Josh Allen on third down should not be rushing the passer, but instead covering a third down scat back in Jermichael Hasty, where Hasty just gave him one, and he was gone for a touchdown? What was that?
Well, first of all, it was a ill-fated zone blitz that they ran. My wife had to calm me down in the room when it happened. Listen,
Coach gets a little worked up when watching these games.
Well, I mean, when I see something stupid, and I hate to call something stupid, but to have the defensive end on the right side have to cover a back out of the backfield to the left side, I don't think that bodes well for the guy. To be honest with you, we used to have to take the defensive ends. When we first went, zone blitzing is a 3-4 thing. Because the two outside linebackers are interchangeable rush pass, right? But when you go to the 4-3 like they're in now, you can still run it. But what we did with our defensive ends was when we ran one, we locked the end up on somebody on that side. We didn't ask him to drop and play zone and do all this other stuff. So when they went trips over to the one side over there, the linebacker, there should have been a mechanism in the zone blitz with the back on the other side. They should have been able to tell the end, hey, you drop to the middle, I'm going to work back weak side because the back's over there. I think they felt that the back was going to stay in when they brought the two guys to the back side. And you got a defensive end running across the field trying to get to the back. He just flipped it out there. He runs it in for a touchdown. By the way, Cisco missed a tackle on that one, too.
Yeah, I thought, Leon, when the game started, when their rookie quarterback threw it to a running back that we cut and scored their first offensive touchdown for opening drive of the year, I thought, yeah, that pretty much sums up the 2024 Jaguars. And then they got a field goal, and it's 10-0, and you're thinking, wow, this will be a really interesting fifth quarter. But again, to their credit, they remembered that they're a pretty good roster, and then they outscored an undermanned roster in the next 25-some-odd points and end up winning the game going away. But it did not start off pretty for the Jaguars today.
It didn't, and I was concerned too. I was in the same boat y'all was in. I was like, here we go again, down by 10. Ain't got no comeback in them. We're going to lose this game. But, hey, listen, they proved me wrong because initially I thought when I was watching that game, I said, this team doesn't have any giddy up. They don't have any way to come back, and they scored the next 25 points. So that was impressive. So that means that lets me know that they're capable. Now, once you show me you're capable, you can't show me anything other than that because you showed me once. That means you can do it again. Now, on the contrary, we don't want to be in positions where we're down 10. I would rather see this team be up 10, up 14 points. But if you're in a situation where you get down 10, you showed me that you could come back. So there shouldn't be any excuses moving forward over the course of the rest of the season.
Let's go to McClenny. Let's get Tucker in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Tucker, what's happening?
How's it going, guys? First-time caller, long-time listener. I got two things for y'all. One, I thought Trevor looked great. Had a solid game, and I think Peyton Bigsby was a big part of that. Having to keep those guys in the box for that power run really opened up the play action, which we struggled to get going throughout most of the year. I thought that was incredible when you see both those guys working together. And the one big question mark on the game to me was that fourth down play. At some point, I understand that the analytics there say to go for it, but at some point, wisdom's got to trump analytics. Because you felt that momentum swing harsh when that happened, and then they'll be able to go back and return it and score there. So I just wait at some point we get ahead and just take the jabs. Take the short stuff, take what we can get, and keep that small lead. We ain't always got to go for the whole big thing at the end. But anyway, that's all, guys. What's your emphasis on there?
Tucker, really appreciate it. I'm just going to accept that's who Doug Peterson is. I'm going to try not to get worked up about it anymore. Inevitably, some point during a game, he's going to go for it on fourth down. They're not going to get it. And you just hope that they can overcome that because to not go up 3 possessions there is nonsense. Again, I don't care what analytics say either. That's common freaking sense. You're up 15. You have a 25-yard field goal to go up 18 points in the fourth quarter. You go up 18 points in the fourth quarter. But Doug Peterson doesn't do that. He will never do that, and that's just who you have to accept him to be as long as he's the head coach here.
You know what it's like, Hack? It's like you know how to get to a spot that you've gone to before, but you still use your GPS. You got common sense says, hey, I know how to get there. I've been driving it before, but you pull it up anyway. Huh?
That's a good analogy. I like that. I was wondering where you were going there, but I'm thinking about it. Yeah,
right. You pull up your GPS anyway just to ensure yourself that you get there, but you know how to get there anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just common sense, Doug. Common sense just tells you to just kick the freaking field goal and call it a day.
You know a lot of coaches. You guys are a fraternity. Former coaches, current coaches.
Yep.
The whole analytics thing. How did this come about? Why is it around? And I imagine guys like you hate it.
Well, first of all, let me just say it this way. Jimmy Johnson is a genius, and I mean literally. You know, if he's a genius, okay? He had all that stuff in his head. But 90% of us it's gut decisions. And really, to me, that particular case was not a gut decision. Because as a defensive coach, you put me in there with they have to score 3 times to win, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Offensive coaches, on the other hand, are all about statistics. Sometimes too much on statistics. And I think that becomes a problem. I have an analysis as well. I'm a big Yankee fan, okay? It drives me nuts when we hit into double plays in that game yesterday 3 times. They got a guy on first base with nobody out, and you don't have Soto up there. You got Volpe, who's a 230 hitter. Bunt the guy down to second base and give your guys a chance to get the guy in. No, we hit a ground ball into a double play and the inning's over. So it really comes down to what kind of a coach are you? Are you an aggressive, I'm looking for the big inning? That's what Boone is sometimes. Instead of, let me get 1 run ahead and let's see what happens.
Analytics are taking over the sports world, no question about that. I will tell you, Buffalo has added a touchdown. They now lead the Tennessee Titans 24-10 early on in the fourth quarter. Back and forth between Green Bay and Houston. Right now, the Packers still up 21-19, but they are back deep in their own territory. Houston looks like they're about to get the ball back as we are getting towards the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter there. And Indianapolis on the doorstep trying to punch it in to go up on Miami. It's a 10-10 ball game. Indy's got a 3rd and goal at the Miami 4-yard line. If you want to get in, there is room for you. 641-1010. George and Mandarin, the rest of you guys, hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. And again, there is room for you if you want to get on with the head coach, Dave Campo, the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, and the hacker, Ryan Green. As the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter rolls on, we are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. We'll come back with a drive of the game and more analysis, taking you up for another 45 minutes or so on the Jaguars' 32-16 victory earlier today over the New England Patriots.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. For instance, you think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? Or how about Travis Etienne? Maybe he'll rush for more than 75.5. Or how about Lamar Jackson getting more than 45.5 rushing yards? It's just that simple. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Hello there. Brendan from Play It Again Sports here to congratulate all the parents for surviving another summer.
The kiddos are back to school, and you know what that means? Sports are back. But don't fret. Play It Again Sports has the gear you need at prices worthy of excessive celebration. From sluggers and shooters to clappers and benders, Play It Again Sports can turn your kids into goats. Stop in today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainjacks.com.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Everyone who puts on a high school football uniform dreams of Friday Night Glory. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, Friday Night Lights. Join Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwoods stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all, like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwoods, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwoods. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right, and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Trevor drops. Looking, fires toward the goal line of Moses, but he caught for the touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. for the score.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio on the call. Brian Thomas, again, his fourth touchdown during this rookie year. Over 500 yards receiving on the season already. 5 catches, 89 yards, and that score today for the rookie out of LSU as the Jaguars win it 32-16 over the New England Patriots. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by Randy Marion Cadillac. And let's do it right now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Leon, no question, being down 10-0 is not the start you wanted, but the Jaguars got the ball at their own 32-yard line. 8 plays, 68 yards, 4 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr. to cut into that Patriots lead 10-7. The Jaguars would obviously never look back en route to a 32-16 win. So that opening drive, or the opening touchdown drive after the 10-0 deficit, is this week's drive of the game.
And that's what you're supposed to do. When you go down 10 like that, you got to answer the bell right away. No hesitation. It was good to see this team come out and get a score. And they, scored 25 straight after that, right?
They did.
Yeah, so that's good, man. That's how you respond. That's how you respond to the bell. When you get punched in the mouth, that's how you come out swinging.
Coach, 5 more grabs for Evan Ingram. It becomes clear as the weeks go by just how much the Jaguar offense missed 17 out there.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, and he does it a few different ways. You got the screen passes, you got the crossing routes, you got some of the corner stuff, and he definitely is a factor. He's going to catch 5 or 6 balls, up to 10 balls in every ball game.
A couple more segments of phone calls, 641-1010. If you want to get in, you are more than welcome to do so here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL, updating you on games that are coming down to the wire. Buffalo 24-10 over Tennessee, 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Green Bay 21-19 over Houston, although Houston is in field goal range. About 4 minutes to go. Again, a field goal would put Houston in front. We'll see what happens up at Lambeau Field. The Jaguars, of course, to play the Green Bay Packers next week. And Indianapolis has taken a 13-10 lead over Miami, 8 minutes to go in the fourth. But Miami now has the ball at the Colts' 45-yard line. We will keep you updated. Also, no AFC South implications. Maybe the best game going on outside of Green Bay, Houston, is this Detroit-Minnesota matchup. Lions 28-23 over Minnesota. These two teams are combined 9-1. 5-0 Minnesota, 4-1 Detroit. Detroit leads 28-23 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. To the phone lines we go at 641-1010. Let's go to Mandarin. Let's get George in here on the fifth quarter. George, what do you got?
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a great game, buddy. I mean, Parker Washington showed a lot in preseason. I know it's just preseason, but he showed a lot. He's a playmaker, and that punt return was awesome. It really sparked us, and you could see the guys on the sideline, and even Doug Peterson just smiling, and it was nice to see them smiling for once. A couple other things, Walker Little came in there, didn't miss a beat. He actually blocked like he was ready to play football with that gigantic size he has, and he was first play he came in there, he did a great block. I think it was the first down, maybe 10 yards, where if Tank could have avoided that tackle, he would have made a touchdown. He did not make it again anyway. But I thought he played good. I thought Devon Lloyd played good. I thought Tyson Campbell, finally seeing one of our players break on a ball, even though he didn't get the interception. And then at the end, Trayvon Walker just shutting the game down, and he's just getting better and better. I mean, he's going to get close to 20 sacks. When we get all these guys healthy, I still have a real good faith in him. I really think we can get it done with everybody healthy.
George, appreciate the call and the optimism. Leon, why has Trayvon Walker gotten, quite frankly, so much better? I mean, he's third in the league. He's tied for third in the league in sacks right now with 6 through 7 games.
I mean, he's playing with a motor. He's playing with a lot of energy. And he's not always coming. Listen, when he first came into the league his rookie year, I said that this kid, I mean, he's got the size, he's got the capabilities, he's got the length, but he goes right down offensive lineman. Offensive linemen want you to go right down them. I'm going to tell you, as an offensive lineman, the worst thing you can do for us is get us off our spot. Because what I used to do when I break the huddle, if I looked at the 5 to 7 to 9 technique, I already got a spot in my mind where I want to be to block you. All right? It's your job as a defensive player to get me off of that spot, wherever you need to do. Speed, get off, hand slapping, twist, spin, all that kind of stuff. So I think he's got more of an arsenal now as far as what he uses, and he doesn't just rely on the bull rush like he did maybe his first couple of years.
And you look at it, Coach, again, sacks don't tell the whole story, but they are something that people focus on. He's got 16 sacks in his last 24 games. I mean, that's pretty good production from your defensive end.
Yeah, he works at it. That's the biggest thing to me. I mean, does he have all the quick twitch that Hutchison has and some of these other pass rushers have? No. But he does work. He plays 100% all the time. Mm-hmm. And you have to say whatever, that's a 10-sack guy. A guy that can just work his himself all the way through. He's a double sacker. Double digit.
Yeah.
Help me out. Double-digit sack guy. Now, how many is that? Is that 10? Is that 12? Is that 15? I don't know what that is, but he's going to have a double digits. And I don't know. I mean, that's a good player. And he plays the run. So, I think he's a good player, period.
And, I remember when Basile and I played the Ravens, we didn't like playing the Ravens, not because we were scared of them or anything, but we knew that the two guys that they had, as far as Michael McCrary and Rob Burnett, we knew they were going to be a full-time meal, all right?
Yeah,
they were going to be effort guys that were going to quit on plays, and they're going to make us work. Make our work, our feet, our hands, our finish, all that kind of stuff. So that's what Trayvon is. He is a workhorse. He's a finisher. And most offensive linemen don't like to go against people like that.
Burnett I had at Syracuse.
Oh, Rob Burnett,
I know who Burnett is. Yeah. He was a tough, and Walker's like that. I mean, he's a full-time baller.
And to that point, Leon, you talk about the offensive line, guys you like going up against, don't like going up against. Well, you look at Anton Harrison. There was some concern about Anton Harrison, particularly after the Buffalo game, wasn't playing very well. I haven't noticed Anton Harrison very much at all the last 2 or 3 games. Clearly, whatever he was lacking a couple of weeks ago, he seems to have found it because he appears to be playing an awful lot better.
He's playing a lot better. He still has I'm watching him too, trust me. He still has a tendency to holster his hands. All right, but he's so quick with them. He's quick with them. And sometimes when guys get him quick, he finds himself having to grab. He just got to be able to get those hands up a little higher so he can utilize them. Now, when he gets them on you, he stops you. All right? He gets them on, and he's been working on his kick angles. I've been noticing too, because the Buffalo game and the other game, I can't remember what game it was, he was short on his sets, and guys would be beating him around the edge. So he's been working on his angles and his kicks, but that's what you're supposed to do. You're a professional, all right? That's your craft. I mean, that's how you make a living. So if you know that you're struggling in certain areas, whether it be feet, hands, or whatever, then you work on it.
Coach, you and I haven't spoken since the Roy Robertson-Harris trade earlier this week. What did you make of that? Because on the surface, a 6th-round pick in 2026 appears they traded him for a ham sandwich. Do they get a little cap relief, I suppose, although there's still some dead money there? Just kind of an odd trade, because I thought Roy Robertson-Harris was playing pretty decent, to be honest.
I think he's just a guy, okay? And I think that they feel like whether it's Jefferson or whether it's Lacey or whether it's the 2 guys that were
the inactives today,
inactive, they had a lot of interior linemen. That's an area that they really went after, right? He's not a defensive end, but they're playing him at they played him at defensive end some. So I think he was expendable from the standpoint. Again, that's an organizational decision. For we got to make sure that these young guys get an opportunity to play, so that we can evaluate them and see where we're at with them. And I think Robertson-Harris was not good enough to take the spot of one of those younger guys. That's how I see it.
Coach, now I wanted to ask you a question. Could it have been, Robertson-Harris is kind of a veteran guy, kind of a veteran president guy. Could have been in a situation where they would let him know rotationally, we're going to get these young guys in, and you're going to lose snaps. And could he have said, could you trade me somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't know. He might have gotten a little disgruntled.
Yeah.
But I don't know about I don't know that. But I think from you've been there. They're bringing a young guy in there. They're basically telling you a year from now you're not going to be here or whatever.
True, facts.
We got to get this guy ready. That's not an easy thing, especially look, if you're worth your salt as an NFL football player, you think you're the guy that should be out there. Period. So it's a possibility. But I don't think he was good enough to really say, we got to keep him here.
Well, there was some thought that it might be a fire sale, right? The way the team was going, you trade Roy Robertson-Harris for essentially nothing.
That's it's right on the edge of a fire sale.
Right, but
if
now
they're going 1-6.
Yeah, now you win a game, and now you're like, all right, we'll see.
But to me, that's kind of the edge. That's the edge. Okay, well, if we get rid of this guy now, we're going to get our young guys a little more playing time. And we're struggling right now, so we got to see who we got. It's right on the edge. But I don't think it was a true fire sale. Let me put it that way.
Texans field goal. They have taken the lead in Green Bay. 1:44 to go. Green Bay did call their timeouts to conserve time. So Jordan Love will get the ball down 1. A field goal wins it at Lambeau. 1:44 to go. Texans up by 1. Miami was trying to tie the game in Indianapolis. Ball hits the upright. No good. They're at the 2-minute warning in Indy. Colts up 13-10 on the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo 27-10. Over the Tennessee Titans. Titans about to fall to 1-5. Again, if there is any silver lining about the 2-5 start for the Jaguars, you're not as bad as the Titans.
The mayonnaise guys
Titans
aren't doing real well either.
Awful. And the only win they have is because they played against the JV in Miami, who had a quarterback there for like 10 days when he played that game on Monday Night Football. Not good times in Nashville, as they are 9 minutes away from falling to 1-5 on the year. One more segment of phone calls. If you want to get in, we'll take one more segment. 641-1010 with Leon Searcy and Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green with you. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. We'll come back with a play of the game as well. More to do, about 20 minutes or so left, right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. From their famous wings to refreshing new cocktails, serving up the flavors you crave. And score big with awesome happy hour deals. It's the perfect spot to catch all the football action while enjoying your food faves, cocktails, and beer. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. Find the restaurant nearest you at hurricanewings.com.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJax.com. This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bug City AC. Heating that rules.
Is your AC
AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roofing Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxslayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today and let's score big for education at TaxslayerGatorBowl.com.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
They'll run it with Bigsby again to the middle of the field, lowers his shoulder, into the end zone, touchdown. And that's the icing on the cake here in London. Tank Bigsby for the score.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio, the score, one of two of Tank Bigsby touchdowns, and the Jaguars 32-16 winner today over the New England Patriots. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a play of the game. That play of the game is brought to you by our friends at Performance Painting. Let's do it right now. The Performance Painting play of the game.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
And the play of the game is an easy one. A 97-yard punt return for Parker Washington for the touchdown to give the Jacksonville Jaguars their longest punt return touchdown in franchise history. It was their first punt return touchdown in 4 years. Clearly, Leon, that was today's play of the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That play right there, you could see the excitement on the sideline from the team when he ran it back 97 yards. So you needed that kind of play, help with momentum. And like I said earlier, that is probably the first complete game I've seen this team play, offense, defense, and special teams.
Green Bay is lining up for a game-winning field goal from 50 yards to win the game. And they got it. And Green Bay is going to knock off Houston. Wow. So Houston, hey, any little bit helps.
Absolutely.
The Jaguars now 2-5. The Texans 5-2. All right.
I'm a happy man.
Well, yeah.
because I have Houston in a little picks here with the radio station. I wanted Houston to lose, but I took Houston. But Green Bay had to win by 3. They didn't.
So Houston loses. They fall to 2-4. They fall to 5-2. The Colts are up 16-10 on the Dolphins. The Dolphins have it at the Colts 33 with only 29 seconds to go. Looks like Indy's going to hold on and win unless Miami pulls off something pretty spectacular. And the Titans are going to lose to Buffalo. So all in all, a Tennessee loss, a Houston loss, a Jacksonville win. Leon, every little bit helps, right? It never hurts when those things happen on the same day.
Never, yeah. Now, I mean, we're 3 games behind now, right?
Yeah, Houston 5-2. The Colts with a win are going to go to 4-3. The Titans are 1-5. They've already had their bye. The Jaguars are 2-5. So the Jaguars will at least be out of the cellar after today.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Jaguars are going to run the table, but I'm just telling you that the NFL is an equal opportunity league. Okay? I mean, what you think can happen, could happen, but it can also not happen.
Yeah.
And that's how this team has got to look going down the stretch. They're not going to be favored in any games over the next 5 weeks. So how are you going to respond to that?
And Green Bay gets an emotional win, a feel-good win. I'm happy they won because if they would have lost, they put a lot more emphasis coming in here. But they're going to feel really good. Then we talked about how great they are. Jordan Love's the man up in Lambeau. Now, there will be 35,000 Cheeseheads fans here on Sunday.
Are you trying to say the NFL players have egos?
That's what I'm saying. I'd much rather they come in off a feel-good win than a bad loss.
I got you.
No question about that. Let's get one more call in here on the fifth quarter, then we'll give you the injury update and put a wrap on it. Let's go up to North Carolina. Let's get PJ in here on 1010XL. PJ, what do you got?
Hey, I was wondering what you guys think about the switch of putting Jerry Jones starting at nickel and then Savage at safety. I thought it helped the team a lot just because you could see the speed difference and allowed us to play man-to-man more.
Coach Campo, what about that? For people that don't know, Antonio Johnson, it looked like, was sent to the bench. That's what it looked like. Savage was in at safety, and Jerry and Jones was the nickel.
Yeah. Again, I think obviously Antonio had a rough year up to this point. You know, he made some mistakes at safety. He looks to me to be, not a great cover guy. He's a guy that is pretty darn good around the line of scrimmage. Not a great open field tackler. So I think, the addition of Savage, I like Savage. The only thing I don't like about what they're doing, again, they're doing a lot of disguising with that safety sitting underneath in the middle and then driving them out to too deep. I feel a lot more comfortable with a guy backing out of there and getting square to the line of scrimmage to where he can break on footballs. But I think that combination is better from a man standpoint than it is with 26 in the lineup.
Leon, I think we expected this, moving to the offensive side of the ball quickly. I think we expected Brian Thomas Jr. to assume the wide receiver one role at some point. But it's shocking how many more targets he's getting than Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis. I mean, shocking. Evan Ingram's still getting targets, but clearly Ingram and Thomas are the two guys. Kirk and Davis are not, or at least certainly weren't today. Does that surprise you at all, the way they're using that rotation and guys they're targeting and not targeting?
No, but because in April when we made that pick, I prayed to the football gods that the pedigree of LSU wide receivers, I was hoping that he fell in our lap because they've got the Justin Jeffersons and the Jamar Chasers. And I'm not saying right now at this particular point he's either one of them, but he's trending in the right direction. That's the kind of guy we need, a legitimate number one receiver. And right now, with his speed and his catch radius and his ability to take the cap off of defenses, I love it.
It's certainly good. Let's get to the injury update, and then I want to start talking about Green Bay towards next week back at home here at Everbank Stadium. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by the law offices of Farah and Farah. And RJ, let's do it now. The Farah and Farah injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The big one was Cam Robinson, concussion. It certainly would appear that he's going to the protocol. He left the game, did not come back. We talked about how good Walker Little looked. So that was certainly the big one. As ravaged as this team has been with injuries, all of a sudden you look, Evan Ingram's back. Tyson Campbell's back. Foye Oluokun is going to be coming back sooner rather than later. There's even talk about Dewey Wingard coming back sooner rather than later. Travis Etienne was at least a game-time decision up until about 11:30 this morning, or I guess 8 o'clock this morning, 90 minutes before kickoff. For 7 games into the year, as injured as they've been, Coach, they're starting to get healthier a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously that you want your best players on the field, and especially when you're in a position that we are, that every game's so important now that we've gotten ourselves in this hole. So, hey, we're all talking about it. I mean, anything can happen in this league. I don't think we were favored in any game in 2022,
right
at the end of the year. And we won them. So we need to just worry about like Leon said, tell them what we have to do, but let's win next week and find a way to win.
Your up-to-date AFC South standings: Texans in first place, 5-2. Colts at 4-3. The Jaguars in third now at 2-5. Tennessee is in last, 1-5. Of course, the Titans have already had their bye. I lied. Let's get one more caller in, then we'll put a wrap. Let's go to the beaches, get Rob in just under the wire. Rob, what do you got?
Afternoon, fellas. Just quick comment question on Cam getting injured out. I don't like to see anybody get injured and get out, but the left side of the line, if you guys covered this already, I apologize, but it seemed like they were firing. The run game picked up, and also with ETN on the sideline, honestly, I want to keep him there because Tank was running hard with purpose. He's durable. Just want to know your thoughts on that, and if they could just keep those fellas on the sidelines for the time being, I think we're better off. Thanks, guys.
Leon, what about the left side of the line?
I mean, as a coaching staff, you're going to evaluate the film, and the left most of the big run plays came from the left side of the field. Ezra and Walker Little. I mean, that's undeniable. So I mean, the coaching staff is going to have a decision. Maybe they want to sit Cam Robinson because of the concussion protocol for a week or so, whatever. But I just like the fact that Walker Little came in there and didn't miss a beat. Absolutely, him and Ezra got after it. They were tossing people around like they were bouncers at the club. So it was good to see, bro. I love that kind of stuff when they tossing linebackers and defensive tackles around. I love it.
All right, let's start focusing on next week. We got about 5 minutes to go. 2 games in London. Now you come home. No bye week, and we always talk about how will that affect the team. Some years it affects them. Some years it doesn't. They're on the plane back now. They'll get back in late tonight, and then you got to get your body clock back and all that. Green Bay just coming off an emotional win over Houston, a last-second win. Green Bay is going to come in here at 5-2. You know that it's going to be a lot of Packer fans. I mean, that's just the reality. There's going to be a ton of Green Bay fans in that stadium on Sunday. What's your early thought on the Jaguars and the Packers?
Well, I think they're going to have their hands full. We're going to have our hands full. We were talking about it. This team is not clean yet. When you really look at it, we had a situation where we dropped 2 interceptions. You can't drop interceptions. You can't bust coverages. Those things, I'm excited about the win because it's hard to win, and I'm happy about it. But if they're going to play against a team like Green Bay, they're going to have to be firing on all cylinders, and we're not there yet. I'm hopeful that this excitement of winning gets us going and our confidence is better. It's going to be a tough ball game. Yet, at the same time, I've always felt that every game is different. It still comes down to 5 or 6 plays, 4 or 5 plays in a game. We need to make those plays in order to have a chance against Green Bay, which I think is a good football team.
You talk about the NFL, Leon. A prime example is the Atlanta Falcons, right? A week and a half ago on Thursday Night Football, 36 points, looking unstoppable, and a great win over Tampa. They're back at home today against Seattle. Seattle has to travel across the country. Seattle beat them by 20 in Atlanta. I mean, the NFL, it's just wild, man. It's absolutely wild.
That's why we watch it. That's why it's the number 1 sport in the world, in America at least, not the world, maybe not. But because it's so unpredictable. I mean, teams that look like us, a Green Bay team can come in our house and we can beat them. If you're not thinking like that, I don't know why you're on the team. To be quite honest with you. If you're not thinking that we could beat Green Bay, if everybody over there aren't thinking that, but like Coach said, we got to clean up some stuff because you're talking about a well-oiled machine that's coming in here next week. All right, it doesn't beat itself, doesn't make the mistakes, not going to give you the turnovers. You've got to be firing on all cylinders. You got to be productive with the run game, the pass protection, the passing. You got to get pressure. You got to cover well, all those things. And you got to be hellified on special teams.
And boy, Jordan Love has been really, really good. Yes. No question about that.
I think we need to have some pressure on him. And I also think, though, that our offensive line, I think one of the good things about it is that they haven't had any injuries, basically, because I think Walker Little's every bit as good as Cam as far as just athletic ability and ability to play. I don't know if he's as grinder as Cam is, but I think our offensive line has been pretty well intact, and I think that allows you to get better and better, and they're going to need it because Green Bay can rush the passer.
All right, as we wrap up, final thoughts. Coach, 32-16, the Jaguars get it done today over the New England Patriots.
Fantastic. I mean, you can't get the 3 without 2, I think our team needed a boost. I think if it had been 1-6, I think we would have been in real trouble. And I think this gives us a chance.
They avoided that. They're 2-5. Leon Searcy, your final thoughts.
Well, 24-hour rule. Enjoy. It's going to take you 12 hours to get here, so you got a lot. So you'll have a lot of thinking to do. But, yeah, hey, watch the film, learn from it, correct the mistakes, get your day off, and come back to work on Wednesday in order to prepare yourself to beat Green Bay.
Leon, we'll listen to you tomorrow, XL Primetime, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We'll talk on Hacker After Dark later in the week. Coach, same with you. You're all over the airwaves. We'll have you on Hacker After Dark tomorrow night as well. That is Dave Campo. He is Leon Searcy. R.J. Saunders was your producer tonight, and it has been the Window World of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, we have been presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. The Jaguars win it 32-16. Jeff Prosser will be in this studio at 6 a.m., and we will kick off 16 hours on a Victory Monday right here on your home for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.